Starting up. That video. There we go. Okay. It is Sunday, May 25th, 3:42 p.m. Starting up again. Pyrography and Philosophy, take 2. Yeah, let me move back a little. Can kind of tilt things down. I think you can see just yet. Yeah, there we go. All right, so welcome back. This is another live stream that I'm doing. I'm going to put some music on, and I'm going to make it not so... Okay, not that. What am I doing here? What is the fuck? Get out of it. How do I get out of this? Native American flute. Mother Earth. All right, let me see about getting to... Look for Bluetooth. All devices. What's going on? Alright, my JBL isn't quite figuring out what it needs to do. Okay. Maybe this does needs to be charged. Okay, yeah. Alright, well, I'll keep that aside for now. I think you can hear what's happening right now. Yeah. Alright, a little bit of a weird start, but that's okay. Nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. No one's watching. Right? Yeah, I'm the only one. 0 followers. All right. Streaming now, in case you're curious. What just happened? I'm letting people know, some friends. Twitch.tv /K _ LAL. Oops. I think I killed the music by accident. I'll get back to it. And then I'll go straight into pyrography. Keep it that way. All right. Well, 2 things are going to be happening today. One, I'll be doing this pyrography and showing you the process for, or at least my process for how I do it. I really don't consider myself to be any kind of artist. If I was really an artist, I would be able to do this all myself with just my hand. But I am not a very good, I'm not good at drawing. So what I am thankful and glad for is that generative AI now allows you to at least skip that important part, and you could basically take an idea or a concept and yeah, I do. I wipe my nose with my clothes, even though I don't really care. I mean, this is like laying around at home clothes, so I know that was kind of gross, so I apologize for that. But yeah, the idea is that I can take this and I can use generative AI and I can generate an image. So this image is, the inspiration is, I have a friend of mine who I know from jiu-jitsu, and they're German and they're really into like hardcore, like crazy warrior type stuff. So I asked them, what's something that you would be inspired by, and they said, just to create a pyrography image, and they said Valhalla. So Valhalla was generated using, I think, GPT, and so now I'm going to go into putting this onto the wood, this piece of wood. So you've got to trace it out. Shockingly, I had one person join and then leave. So go figure. But I prefer not to actually see who's joining. Yeah. So I wish I didn't have that on here. But yeah, so what happens is, like I was saying before, you get a piece of wood. These are 6 by 6 inches, and you have a bunch of them. So I've got a couple more. Yeah, there's more than this, but you sand it down. You got to get the surface to be as smooth as possible, because that makes it easier for the tracing to take place. So the tracing, you also you'll see how that's done. But yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna. So you turn it over basically, and then with another pencil, whatever you have. This is my process. I think there's other ways of doing this, but I found this to kind of be the one that makes the most sense for me. You basically take it and then you put it all, you highlight the back. So like I made like a bounding box. You can see the image from the other side, and then I make kind of a circle around it. So I know now, okay, well, I just need to color this in. I don't waste, wherever other parts. So it's kind of like what you got to do. In case you're interested, the music is just Native American flute. It's just a calm thing. Meditative, the works. It's good for doing stuff like this. Even not just chilling, relaxing at home. It's good to have just something that you can relax to. It's specifically called The Soul and Heart of Mother Earth, Native American Flute Music. Sharpen my pencil a little bit more. Okay. You're not going to get everything perfect, but you try to get the really core. I mean, if you hold it up and you look, okay, yeah, it's like this is where a lot of detail is, and this is where the Valhalla is. Vikings and shit. Bit of a downcast day. It's been pretty cold and rainy actually in New York City. Mm. Zero still. I think it's going to be that way, but that's okay. The nice thing is I can kind of capture some of these moments. Oh yeah, the other reason for the flute music is hopefully, at least on YouTube, things get copyrighted. So the nice thing about YouTube is that it actually will record the live streams for you at no cost. So yeah, you can kind of take it and make clips out of it and do all that stuff without, kind of eating up all the space on your local machine. Of course, nothing comes for free. Obviously, Google keeps some claim to that media, and they're able to use that for data, whatever they want to do with it. Nothing's free. Nothing on these social media platforms or internet platforms are truly free. Don't ever believe that. It's BS. Yeah. So. All right. I think this is good. So now the next step is taking this and then putting it on the wood. So, and yeah, you gotta be careful. It's gonna smudge. And you gotta kind of accept that there's gonna be some smudges from the graphite. But, well, you just figure that out best you can. Yeah, so philosophy. Yeah, what I did mention that in addition to the pyrography, I was going to be bringing up some philosophical ideas too, just based on life and life experiences. I had a weird day yesterday. In the morning, I went to a funeral, and then in the evening, I went to a wedding. And then in between, I actually went to this contact improv jam. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure people don't even know what that is, but that's okay. But people do know what a wedding and what a funeral is. It was a weird time. I've lost both of my parents, so my mom most recently, she was like back in 2022. So quite honestly, this funeral, which was for someone who was a mother, she was 85 years old. Yeah, she died, I guess, somewhat unexpectedly. She was okay, I guess, on Mother's Day, and then on Monday, or early Monday morning, something happened. I don't know what exactly. But, that was it. I got a text from my sister, and she told me that this particular person was someone who my family knew very, very well. And, yeah, it was pretty sad. It was a little bit too close to home for me, personally. Just because I lost my mother in 2022. So this is about 3 years, which is, I guess, not a long time, but it's also not totally a short time. Yeah, what I'm doing now is just trying to fit everything. Just trying to get the right content. Eventually it's going to go on the wood. So, some of the things, outside of all the memories that it was bringing up for me, um, it just struck me that I've been through. I've been to a couple funerals now, and especially for folks that are kind of in their older age, have kind of lived their lives, and the thing that is kind of striking is, it doesn't matter how significant you thought you were, or well known in the community, or well known amongst your friends, or what big thing you did, or what title you had, or how much money you had, or how many kids you had. Even in the biggest case scenarios, I don't know. I mean, this is probably off, but again, just from I'm just speaking from my own experience, but it doesn't really amount to many people being in the room. It's probably less than 50, less than 40, all in. People in the village, people that just knew you. It's few and far between. And, I guess the way things are, there's not a lot of time for people to say things about you. You have a eulogy, and in most cases, depending on how many people are speaking, but whole lifetime is kind of summed up in a couple minutes. That's all. That's all you get. That's all you can get, or expect to get. I mean, that's all right. Your kids, depending on how many you have, you want them all to be able to say something, or the spouse, or whoever it is. It's a weird thing, in my opinion. Valhalla. Whenever I think about death, sometimes I think what I find fascinating is that nobody will know or remember you in 100 years. Definitely not in 200 years or 300 years. And if they do remember you because of something you said or did, they won't remember you. They'll just remember the thing. And the thing will be the only thing that's really associated with you. Nothing else. Nobody will know who you were, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you valued. Well, maybe a little bit, but most of it will be very tied to contributions and what that meant. Think about somebody famous like Einstein. Nobody knows. Everybody knows Einstein, but nobody knows Einstein. You know what I mean? Well, okay, here we go. Now the tracing process can begin. So you see what we have here is, this is the image, this is the graphite on the back, and now I'm going to trace it onto the wood to give it, to transfer it. Right, so that's the process that's going to happen now, and I usually use a ballpoint pen for this part. It just seemed to work the best or the easiest, you know. So let's give it a shot. So yeah, so now you can basically see, you know, that's how you can check. You can, as you kind of move and you progress, you can get an idea of how things are looking, you know, based on what you're doing. That's the process. It does take a little bit of concentration, and that's the part that I like about it. That there is this really fine and intricate way of Valhalla. I love that name, Valhalla. Sounds cool. Yeah, this is kind of how the process works. I love how that sun kind of comes. I don't like how it goes, but I like how it comes. I do find it interesting that I have an ancestor 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago, 500, and I can keep going. And that's necessarily true because I'm sitting here today. There's a lineage, and it goes back a hell of a long time. I don't like that L. It's okay. But what I do find interesting is that I know nothing about them. I don't know anything about my ancestors. I mean, I barely know about my grandparents. And I definitely don't know anything about my great-grandparents. I don't even know their names. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what they sounded like. I don't know what my grandparents sounded like. But the strange thing is that, I'm connected to them in a very real and important way. How can that be? How amazing is that? What kind of people were they? Were they honest? Were they good? Some of them criminals? I don't really know. But there is at least a modicum of not a modicum, but like a deep appreciation for them. And they had no idea that they would lead to me. They had no idea. They couldn't have. They just followed what was instinctual and did and lived their lives. That's it. They didn't do anything else but that. Death is so strange. I was talking to somebody at the wedding. This friend of mine seemed like he had unbeknownst to me, but he went through a lot in his life. It sounded like a lot of changes. He mentioned to me something about being homeless, and that was a shock to me. I never knew that, and I don't know. I didn't want to really press further on it, but that's a significant thing to say, that you were homeless once. Now he's a very respected, well-regarded, sought-after chiropractor. Yeah, life is so strange. There really are possibilities for redemption and for change and for becoming something different, something new, being ready for a transition and seeing that transition through. There we go. Valhalla. I don't know if you can see that. It's the way that was transferred over. So now I'm going to go to the core. Yeah, I'm going to try to do everything in the scene. Let's see how it goes. I love it when that sun comes out a little bit. This hair is going to be tough. Just did the kind of like the surrounding cloudy kind of formations. I'm going to do the spear now. Damn it. No, that was a little off. Okay, well, that's okay. Drawing a straight line is not easy. I really do respect people that are good at drawing and have built up that skill. So I believe it's very difficult. It's a very unique skill set. It's very special, in my opinion. Okay. That's the spear in the beginning of the hand, the arm holding it. Yeah, I get that. Maybe from a live streaming point of view, this may not be the most entertaining. But that's okay. I'm still learning this. And yeah, I don't mind. Don't mind at all. For me, this is all a learning experience. And I like learning. I love learning. really does go quick. It's very fast, and before you know it, it's done. It kind of feels almost unbelievable when I think about it. A friend of mine keeps saying, all we are is just food for worms, that's it. I don't disagree with him. There's only going to be a real limited amount of time that you're going to have to live your life. I think where I get really caught up sometimes is not knowing what I want to do. What do I want to do with my life? I'm not really sure. How do you figure that out? You can't really do any do-overs either. Well, maybe you can a little bit, but they're very limited. So you got to be really careful and thoughtful and mindful about what it is that you're doing. At least the way I understand it. I just farted. I fucking hate my neighbors. They're so goddamn loud and obnoxious. I think it's also me just becoming a grumpy old man. I think I'm far more sensitive to things than I used to be. I think part of it too is, I'm spending a lot more time in my apartment. Not by choice. Coming along. Okay. I was in my head a little bit, sorry. I can definitely see how this live stream will be quite boring to most people. That's what it looks like so far. And that's okay. I don't really care. The creative process. That's what this looks like. Alright, anyway. That up. Let's do a little correction. These real tiny details are really tough. I'm gonna stop after a bit. I'm getting tired. All right. This is where we ended up so far. I'm probably gonna stop there. At least for now. I'm gonna take a rest. Okay, well, I did get a grand total of 0 viewers, so that's pretty cool. But I know, I get it. There's not a whole lot talking happening right now. Because a lot of my time is just going into concentrating. There's some finished products that I showed last time. This is one that I did a while ago that I like a lot. Tachi Uchiha. The tracing portion is a little bit more boring, but when we do the pyrography and the actual burning, that's when you actually see the thing taking shape and coming into reality. So it's a little bit more fun. But the next step really is going to be to finish doing the trace and then start to do the outline of everything and then doing the final fill in. So it's kind of like a multi-stage process. First there's the concept, generating the concept and the idea of what you want to do, and then sanding the wood, polishing the wood, and then going into the transfer process, transfer and trace, and then finally to the outline and fill in. So at least that's the way that I do it. Maybe this was lacking on the philosophy part. I don't know. But I do want to do that. So, and the other idea that I have is using AI as my guest. So they wouldn't have a voice, not like a audible voice, but I would take a thought experiment and use that as a way of setting the stage for a conversation and a dialogue, particularly with the AI. And I think it's super fascinating because when I have done it, I think the cool thing is that I learned stuff. It brings up different philosophical points that I think are interesting. And I've been learning things. I know, there's a lot. Well, I wouldn't say I know a lot of philosophy. I just am interested in it, curious about it. And I remember I majored in it in college. I was a philosophy major, and but I haven't really done a whole lot after that. I've dabbled in a couple things. I am a fan of Schopenhauer and Nietzsche and Camus. Mainly, they kind of are more of a brand of existential philosophy and talking about meaning and purpose and objectivity and art. I think with Camus in particular, it's a question of I do like his philosophies on the absurd and the idea of rebellion and deriving and concocting and enacting and actioning your own meaning and purpose, not giving in to the shrug that you're getting back from the universe in terms of a larger meaning and purpose and a sense of justice and fairness. And Camus' idea and his philosophy is that's essentially what you're getting, is a shrug of shoulders from the universe when you ask it, because it's okay if good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. That's consistent. That's consistent with what we expect and what we believe and want. But what's inconsistent is when good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people, which we see evidence for all the time. And that, there isn't a good answer for. I mean, the canonical answer is, at least in the Judeo-Christian perspective, is God has a plan. You can't see it in this narrow scope or this narrow view, but there's a larger reason and a purpose for why this thing is happening, this injustice, and it's all part of God's plan. Some people are able to accept that and others are not, right? Well, how, I mean, and I'm sure I haven't really delved into it deeply, but even if there is a plan, what that doesn't do anything to really justify the injustice that's happening right now. Even if it's for something larger or for something greater, why does this injustice have to happen and be the thing that leads to that? It's still a tough question. If you look at something in isolation, people getting away with murder, with stealing, or lying, or taking advantage of somebody else, and a good Christian abiding citizen that doesn't have a spot on their record is afflicted with Parkinson's disease, or they get due to a glitch, a governmental issue, they're jailed. An innocent man is jailed and held there for several years. Are there other examples of pyrography in the past? You have to gotta do some more for personal projects, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, that Schopenhauer basically his philosophy is just that life sucks, it's hard, and it's there's not much there's not a way out of that. You just gotta accept that it sucks and it's gonna suck. And the only way you can really get some measure of respite from it is either through asceticism, through keeping your desires and your wants and expectations very low and very disciplined and controlled, and thereby you can minimize the impact of the turbulence of life, or you can get it through art, and through higher planes of thinking or being, but mainly through something that exalts you, or pulls some kind of deep appreciation for an aesthetic. Those are the only ways out of life. Otherwise, life is really miserable and painful, and there's nothing you can do about it, or escape it. And you just have to bear it and go through it. Nietzsche is also kind of, he builds on top of Schopenhauer. I think he came after him, I believe, but one of the things that Nietzsche has is the idea of eternal recurrence, and this idea of amor fati, which means love of fate, Latin for love of fate, meaning, and his eternal recurrence is just the idea that, if you, how can you move to a place where if you had to repeat your life eternally, that you'd love it? What would that look like? What would that mean? But I think eternal recurrence is also just the idea that things happen cyclically. Things go in cycles, and there's a wax and a wane to everything, which is very similar to many Indian ways of thinking and being and perceiving and living and existing. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to explore. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm doing this partly because I want to do it with other people. But I realize there's not much. I'm not much of a draw yet. But yeah, it was nice. It's nice to do this. Nice to keep trying, at least. And that's all I'm gonna do. Right. I am going to pause for now. Thank you, folks.